Next to the stage, with a talk entitled Through the Lens of Skybridge, the Problems with Metaverses Today and How to Solve Them, we have Bruno Skavorik. Please welcome him to the stage.
Test, test. Hi, welcome. A few of you have probably heard me talk yesterday about the most advanced NFT infrastructure that we've developed at Remark. Today, I want to take things a little bit further and tell you about the current problem with metaverses and how we have teamed up with a powerhouse project in our ecosystem to form a new group that will solve these problems. So Skybreach is actually just a Trojan horse for me to get you in here, for you to listen to my talk. Skybreach is actually the metaverse that we're building at Remark, but I'll go through it a little bit as just a part of this presentation. My name is Bruno. I'm the founder at Remark, and you can find out everything you need to know about it at remark.app. You can always reach me on Twitter or Telegram or via email after this talk to get any clarifications or whatever. So I'm going to keep this talk really brief. I want you to ask as many questions in the end as possible. I want to hear feedback. I want to hear negative comments so I can address them either on stage or later on in a planning session. And I generally like to discuss what you think about this entire space and where you see that it's going and whether or not it makes sense what we're doing. So the problem with metaverses right now is that they're not actually metaverses. Every metaverse that is out there right now is just a multiplayer game that replaced username and password logins with reading a balance of an NFT from your wallet. All of that infrastructure is still running on AWS. It's all still centralized. It can all still go down. And it's all still using really primitive NFTs that will not have an effect on your experience. You do not own your experience. If you participate in that world, once that server crashes, your experience crashes with it. If you've accomplished anything in that world, it is stored on their server. Alternatively, some of them will pepper you with basically worthless NFTs that will just pollute your wallet that are not related to your experience at all. So what you end up with is a login system for NFTs for multiplayer games that can and will go away because as players bleed out, as they disappear because of lack of interest or due to vampire attacks from other projects or simply because your game is no good, your servers will become too expensive to maintain and you will shut them down. We've seen this over and over again, and so it is guaranteed to happen. So they're not actually metaverses, they're just multiplayer games right now. Problem two is they're hard to play. The gamer audience in the world is huge, but if you want to onboard the next wave of normies into blockchain or even into NFTs or even into metaverses, even if you want to ninja in the concept of blockchain into their heads through metaverses and things that don't necessarily talk about blockchain, it is still very difficult to get the average normie involved with this because the average person does not know how to move in a 3D environment. They do not want to sit behind a computer and navigate with a mouse and WASD navigation on the keyboard. They're not good at it, they're not familiar with it, and they don't feel comfortable doing it. What people do feel comfortable doing is having prolonged pooping sessions and playing on their mobile phone, is playing on their mobile devices while they're waiting for a bus, is playing on their mobile devices while waiting for the coffee to be ready at breakfast. People like hyper-casual experiences. The age of onboarding the next billion users, I mean, not the age, the idea of onboarding the next billion users by building a comprehensive and complex 3D environment for them to move around in as they sit down behind their PC, which most of them do not have, like a machine capable of running a 3D environment, is not a very good idea. And problem number three is that they're very hard to build and plan. To build a good, long-lasting game, you need to have experience not only in game development, but also in game economies, in just general longevity of an entire world's economic system, resource system, everything system that will not get saturated. You cannot expect to just launch a token and say, everybody who plays this will be play to earn, and then we'll drop tokens on them as long as they play. Obviously, that will inspire the same death spiral that you see with decentralized exchanges that shower you with tokens as long as you LP in them, and those tokens perpetually lose value. This is the same approach, and it is equally wrong. So how do we combat this? We have teamed up, we at Remark. So we at Remark are experts at NFTs 2.0, at advancing the NFT space, and at user experience and UI. And Fala Network, who are our partners in this venture, they're experts at backend and chain development and decentralized cloud processing. And so we've teamed up here to create CypherMod, which is a new SDK, which we call the substrate for metaverses. And I'm sorry for this link being dead. The DNS didn't propagate in time. It's going to be live today. But the substrate for metaverses is basically a framework which you use to create a game-like experience and plug it into any existing metaverse, if that metaverse is open, which most are not right now, or build your own in a few clicks, point-and-click adventure through your experience of building a metaverse. Now, what's different here than just firing up Unity or Unreal Engine and building a demo? The main difference is that this is the SDK that is intuitive and easy to use and plug into existing architectures, but also use new ones. And it doesn't have to be 3D. It doesn't have to be centralized or decentralized. Everything is an option. If you want Sybil resistance, you can plug in the DID component into your process of creation of this game experience, and you will have Sybil resistance. You will have verified identities of people in the game if you want this. It's an optional component. And these optional components can be built as plugins for this SDK, so that as you develop your game types, your other abilities to add into this universe that you're building, you can just reuse a plugin that somebody else wrote. It's kind of like NPM, if you will, for metaverse building, for game experience building. It doesn't have to be metaverse, actually. It can be just so for me, a metaverse is not a game per se. It's actually a virtual environment in which reasonably unique avatars of people can interact with each other and own their experience. And a big part of owning that experience is having a decentralized metaverse with an advanced enough NFT infrastructure that will evolve your NFTs, evolve your experience with them, and upgrade your account over time. Every time you log out of one experience, you've logged out with a slightly more valuable NFT. And this is possible because of Remark NFTs and because of the UX that we've applied here. So that's the essence behind the CypherMod framework. So your journey will look something like this. I don't know why start is broken. So you start by selecting an existing metaverse or just picking your own. And of course, these have to be open for this to work. Then you select your NFT infrastructure. Naturally, it makes no sense to select anything other than Remark, but there is an option. Then you select your chain type that you want to deploy on. This is going to be an EVM chain, or it can be a substrate chain, so Rust-based palettes and so on. And then you optionally pick a DID provider who can make sure that your accounts are reasonably unique, that you're not being attacked by bots or something like that. Then you pick a game type. We'll have developed different game types, templates that you can use that come with ready-made economies that have been planned and tested. We're working with a team called Machinations. They are experts at building forecasts for game economies. So you can write sources and drains of resources and economic elements in the game, and then you simulate how that's going to behave over time, over several years. And we'll develop these templates into this entire process. And then you pick a backend. You can go centralized with AWS, like everybody does right now, or you can pick our partner Fala, who have this decentralized cloud infrastructure that can run your backend on their blockchain. And this lets you have a truly censorship and downtime resistant online experience where people can virtually congregate in a visual way without fear of this going down or disappearing or just literally being attacked or something. And then once you click publish, you will have the ready-made game experience. My goal is to, a year from now, be possibly on the same stage and show you how to click through this experience and launch your game experience. It should be as simple as a few clicks. In an hour, we will have something up and running a year from now. So our two flagship projects that are building on this, that are going to be dog fooding the CypherMod SDK heavily so that we can, extract the problems and solutions we find and turn them into, like generally applicable ones for everybody else, is Skybreach. That's all right, take two. The first one is Skybreach, which is the metaverse from Remark. And we have this concept of world governance built in, where you can essentially, have the community with their avatars. Everybody who participates in the world will have a vote on how the entire game, entire environment changes. If you want to vote in new avatars, if you want to vote in new crafting recipes, new resources, even new land or whatever else, everybody takes a vote, and it is self-enacting. It's not the DAO type that you can see right now elsewhere where you have like an off-chain vote and then rely on a team to implement this. No, this uploads the actual game code through this advanced NFT infrastructure that I spoke about yesterday, and then once that's enacted by a vote, it will automatically become available in the game. So new item sets, new accessories, new lands, new resources, whatever. Then we have the avatar system, which is only made possible with the Remark NFTs. So once you have an avatar, you have true digital scarcity through Remark. And what does that mean? In current metaverses, you can log into as many copies of the game as you wish with the same wallet. You can have 500 instances of the same game running as long as you have that NFT in your wallet. And you can sell it while you're playing, nothing happens. This is because it's only used as a login system. Here, your avatar is an NFT, and the piece of land in the metaverse is an NFT. But with Remark, NFTs can own other NFTs, and so in order to send an avatar into land, you literally send it into land. Now the land owns the NFT, and this avatar can only be in that one place at that one time. So this is true digital scarcity as originally advertised by NFTs. You can no longer equip the same hat onto 50,000 different pigs. You can only equip it onto one avatar because it is literally in that avatar then. Then we have the non-transferable NFTs as part of the avatars, not just as reputation markers, but also as skills, personalities, recipes, and crafting recipes that you learn as your avatar grows with you. As with every experience you acquire, your avatar itself, your NFT, will collect these new abilities inside of itself. So if by some miracle this metaverse goes down, or you decide to not play anymore, you still have those experiences inside of your avatar. And then there's mining and crafting. It's all fully decentralized, powered by Remark NFT 2.0 Legos, which you can read more about on docs.rmrk.app. We also have the global item economy, which is only made possible with our nested and equipable NFTs. So you can have accessories and items that you're probably familiar with, only in this case they are cross-collection compatible, which means that one voodoo doll, for example, can be worn by one avatar, but also you can make it compatible with another collection of avatars very, very easily, and give that, if the visuals are slightly different, that same NFT will contain those visuals needed to make it compatible with the other collection. So the NFT itself has everything it needs to become compatible with future collections that are yet to come out. And this gives them an interesting concept known as the degen score for NFTs, where you have a dynamic rarity. The more stuff you make your items compatible with, the more valuable they are because the more demand they have. And this global item economy is automatically compatible with any game experience in Metaverse built using the CypherMod framework. So by entering this entire universe, you're actually giving your NFTs far more utility than your entire experience has intended. Well, optionally, you can choose not to. The other project is Follow World. So they will be using also soulbound NFTs to upgrade the accounts of people who use their chain and have some off-chain reputation as well. They will be connecting off-chain and on-chain data into soulbound NFTs on a person's avatar, and this avatar will be playable in-game. And so you level up your character by actually doing on-chain and off-chain operations. So you vote in referenda on-chain, you stake on-chain, or you have off-chain like reputation, like karma on Reddit, like GitHub commits, and so on. And this gets added, oracleized as a soulbound NFT into your avatar gets a new level, and you can play it better in the game, in the Follow World game itself. So you level up your character by participating in Web3, which I think is a pretty interesting and novel concept. So the founders of this project are myself and MARVIN TONG from Fala. You can get in touch with either of us through this contact information. Please take a picture, feel free to take a picture. And I'm just very excited to show you this very soon. We'll be having, like, right now we have bits and pieces of this technology that each project uses individually. Our next step, as this is a pretty new venture, is to unify all of these pieces into this SDK and start releasing prototypes of the SDK very, very soon in the next coming months as we close our private round. So that's it. I will take any questions if we have a minute or two for those, and you can also, I'll just leave my contact info here. Any questions? There are no stupid questions, so please ask. I know I said a lot in a very short amount of time. Can you repeat that, please? Yeah, so Skybreach is the proof of concept that puts all of this together, and Follow World is another one by Fala. So we started with each metaverse being developed separately, and then as we collaborated more and more, we realized we're solving the same problems a lot. And they use remark palettes heavily, and our contracts and our standards heavily for NFTs, and we use their backend infrastructure. And so we figured, like, all right, this obviously makes sense to put it together and make it into an SDK. And then let's also add in like hooks you can plug into other plugins so that you can launch on any chain you want, on any infra you want. And yes, we will be heavily dog-fooding our own tech here by building our metaverses with it. Yeah.
Test. Works. Yeah, thank you, Bruno. That was a really good presentation. But I know that in Skybreach, the Canary birds are going to have utility, but will other collections also be integrated?
I didn't catch that.
So do you know the way you have other collections within Singular on Remark 2.0?
Oh, other collections?
Yeah, will those be integrated into Skybreach?
Yeah, so Singular is our NFT 2.0 marketplace where people can mint these multi-resource NFTs. It can be more things at once, or composable profile pictures like this one in the slide. So this is composed of 5 different pieces that I had to collect on the marketplace that we have. And these collections, a lot of them do focus on avatars and stuff like that. So they can be added to Skybreach in particular, like so our metaverse, but they have to be voted in by world governance, right? So you can't really just add them. You have to propose them to the game itself. Then the game will have this as a pending upgrade, and then everybody will vote on it, whoever has these avatars that can vote on these governance upgrades. And so the players will evolve the universe. We are hoping, as a team, to be completely hands-off within 2 years and not touch it, be only players. And this can result in a totally awesome environment and the best game ever, or it can just devolve into Metaverse 4chan or something, and nobody will want anything to do with it. We'll see. But in any case, we're very excited to experiment with this new governance and metaverse experiment. All right, no more questions. Thank you very much.